We are here to talk about my top 20 favorite non-Royal Rumble matches. I absolutely love the idea of doing this shit again because it takes me back. It takes me down memory goddamn lane. Every single time that I do one of these things, a little piece of me grows a little fonder, and I start having way more fun on the show. And now I have decided to bring it back for the Royal Rumble. As a reminder, by the way, folks, this is Royal Rumble because we did this last week, and I didn't talk about it last week because it wasn't really a thing, but we're getting closer to this year's Royal Rumble, so it's coming up again. So let's talk about it for just a second. Yes, this year's Royal Rumble will be in Saudi Arabia. I saw so many people recently, I'm not watching. Don't watch it. That's okay. It's fine.
That's fine.
We're going to be all right.
Don't watch it. We'll watch it.
Yeah.
And then come here for the recap. I'm not in Saudi, so you can watch this.
You guys don't have to watch it. It's okay. No one is holding your feet to the fire here. It's going to be all right. For the people sitting next to the people that said, I'm not watching it, and are online with the whole, I'm canceling my subscriptions, also fine. Go for it. Knock yourself out.
Valid.
It's all right. I support you in your cause. Hey, if there's anything I enjoy about a human being is a man or a woman who stands on their goddamn principles. So go for it. Knock yourself out. We're watching the fucking thing. As a matter of fact, shocking turn of events. My wife, who I have been with for 23 years, has a sister. Her name is Brianna. She is she is now engaged to her boyfriend, soon to be married. She's been with this boyfriend for several fucking years. All right. This isn't a new relationship. Time has been put in, right? Time to take the next step and jump over the goddamn broom. And I just found out 2 days ago when Brianna calls the house, says, what are you guys doing such and such time? Oh, we're going to be home because we're watching the Royal Rumble. Yeah, I was going to ask about that because her fiance now, Josh, loves WWE, and I told him that Anthony liked WWE, and he wants to watch the Royal Rumble at your house too, because we have parties for this stuff. We have get-togethers, and he goes, "Yeah, he wants to watch the Royal Rumble with you guys." I'm like, "He wants to watch the Royal Rumble? He likes wrestling. He loves wrestling. His last birthday I threw for him, it was a WWE themed birthday or whatever." I was like, "What is he, 7?" But.
Oh, hold on, I got pictures of something.
Why? Why? Oh no, you can post the graduation pics. I don't give a shit. I can make fun of him because I am also a fan. But he's been a fan this whole time, and they're just bringing it to my attention now after all these fucking years. I said, Brianna, not only am I a wrestling fan, I'm in the fucking business, and your fucking boyfriend is a fan of wrestling. Are you insane? You've never made this connection till now? So they're coming to the house for the goddamn Rumble. I'm like, yes, you can watch the goddamn Rumble at the fucking house. Fine. They live literally, and that's the other part. They live in an apartment 3 blocks like that way. Like walking distance. So I'm like, what the shit? So anyway, yeah, we're gonna watch the Royal Rumble with them and see what's going on. Now, this is gonna be twofold. Because technically speaking, I'm the big brother, and he's asking the little sister for marriage. So the only way that I could allow this to happen, he's going to get quizzed. We'll see how much of a fan he truly is. Yep. And if he fails my test, no, sir. You can't bed my sister. No way in hell. So we'll put that in the...
Spoiler alert, he's already bedding the shit out of her. He ain't gonna worry about that. Her shit's been bedded. You ain't gotta worry about that.
Well, if he fails the test, I'm gonna put my foot down. No more. No ask for him until he does his homework.
Yeah, right.
Hit the books. You got to earn this for JJ. Here we go. Let's get to my list. Though. Last week we did 20 through 16, and as a recap, 20 to 16 is not in front of me. So we'll recap it another time. It is here. I'm stupid. Number 20, Shawn Michaels versus Marty Jannetty in 1993. Number 19, Kurt Angle versus Triple H, 2001. Number 18, Edge and Shawn Michaels, 2005. Number 17, CM Punk versus Dolph Ziggler, 2012. John Cena versus Umaga, last man standing match, 2007. And to pick up right where we left off, we have to literally pick up right where we left off. At number 15 is going to be John Cena versus AJ Styles, 2017. Banger. This was a banger. I like this match because not just because the match itself was dope, which it was. It was a dope match, but this was a dream match that I never thought I wanted until I got. Now, they had a match before this, so it wasn't their first time meeting. This is the second time that they would meet, and it would be for the WWE Championship. But people have to remember, if you're new to the show, then you probably don't know this, but huge TNA fan from the very beginning of when that company started. I've always been a huge TNA fan. And my wife, who I started dating literally at the same time as TNA began its operations, my wife never watched wrestling before she met me. She didn't start watching wrestling until she met me. And when she met me, me and my friends were enthralled with the world of TNA. They used to do TNA shows every Wednesday, the Wednesday night shows on pay-per-view for like $1 or something like that. And you could watch TNA, and we were watching it weekly. Every Wednesday, I'd go to my friend's house, and we'd watch TNA at his house. And my girlfriend, who was not my wife, for some stupid reason, kept coming with me to the goddamn house to watch these shows. And out of the blue, she absolutely fell in love with TNA wrestling. Just absolutely fell in love with it. One guy in particular was her favorite, and that was AJ motherfucking Styles. Loved AJ Styles. Conversely, after she was exposed to TNA, we then started showing her WWE, and there was some white kid in a hat rapping his ass off that she absolutely fucking hated. Anyway, it's 2025 now. Still, AJ Styles is one of her favorite wrestlers on the planet. Still, John Cena is one of the most hated motherfuckers in her heart to this motherfucking day. So this match was a moment of pure hell for her because she just knew her guy was going to do the J.O.B. She just knew it. She just knew it. It was going to happen. So she did not like this match at all, but I took great pride in it because this really was, there's not many times that you can get Ali and Tyson in their prime. There's not too many times where you can get two great franchise players from two completely different worlds, two completely different leagues, to then come together and see what would happen. And what, in my opinion, what happened was absolute magic. I love this match. Now you're probably saying, AJ, you love this match, yet it's 15. That's how good these matches are. But Dave, what did you think of the match when you sat down and put eyeballs to TVs?
What threw me back was how young Cena was. Like there were a couple of shots. There were a couple of shots where they had him like in the corner when he was like charging up for those lariats, and it was like, fuck, he's a big boy, dude.
And in 2017, he was old. He was the veteran. He was the older guy.
I mean, he was younger than now, like from what we just watched now. I mean, he's still in great shape now. But man, he looked fucking solid, man. He looked solid. But yeah, him and AJ had a good match in the pacing with a wrestler like AJ. I mean, it was still, that's the one thing that stood out to me. It was still a Cena match. It was still slower. AJ made it feel a little bit better because just him being like a veteran or whatever the case may be, he's able to maintain the pace. So it didn't feel as bad. Like I forget which one. Which one did we do a live view one with Cena?
Cena or
remember me? He watched it live. Yeah, and that shit was bore snore. Like this was not that. This was a little bit better to watch. The pacing was a little bit better. But yeah, man, just seeing these two just a little bit younger, man. Yeah, but seeing these two a little bit younger, man, it was it was a good way to start the rest of these because I want this. Yeah. This was fucking homework, brother. This shit was 5 hours worth of wrestling. I was like, fuck.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say when I noticed that, I'm like, oh, it's close to that. This is gonna be brutal. But then as the matches start going, I'm like, this just caught fire. I'm not gonna hold you. Like these matches,
and the matches get better. I'm telling you.
They were so good.
If you want, anyway, you know what? Not for nothing. I'm gonna send you the rest of the list. We'll just watch it at your own.
You should.
Time.
That way I can get a head start.
Yeah, and don't wait on the rundown. Yeah, I'm just gonna send you the remaining 10 and then whatever. But yeah, no, as I don't know if anyone, I doubt it, but like if you watch in the order that I'm putting them in, it just increasingly like just gets up there. And another reason why I think this particular one stands out just a little bit is because I wanted to point out something about these matches. There's a lot of gimmick matches on this list, right? There's a street fight. There's a casket match coming up. There's a ladder match coming up. There's a couple of last man standings in here. And that's because for the Royal Rumble, they usually blew off a lot of programs because it's leading into WrestleMania. You want to start something fresh. So a lot of the blow-offs to a lot of programs happened here. This particular match, this was John Cena's 16th world title win right here. And we never thought we'd see 17. And just for the record, this was 2017. This was 8 years ago. 9, technically it was 2026. He didn't win 17 until 8 years later. 8 years after this match is when he won 17. So just to put things into perspective about how this match, how important this match was at the Royal Rumble. This next one is a sleeper. I put this one as a sleeper because at the time when this happened in 93, there wasn't a lot of hype about it, right? If you were a hardcore fan at the time and you were in school and the kids were, did you see the Royal Rumble last night? Yeah, they kind of talked about it. But when it comes to like how iconic, quote unquote, some of these matches are, this isn't up there with the iconic matches. But in my opinion, it really is. There's a flow to this match that to me is just unbelievable. It doesn't stand out as much now because the speed of matches today is so much faster. But in 1993, this was like a match on fast forward. This was crazy. And the psychology was there with Scott Hall being the bigger guy, able to keep up with Brett. Brett's out here wrestling and they're just high impact, just move after move after move. And I know people are going to hear that and they'll watch it and go, this is fast for 1993. This was incredibly well paced. They just moved and the bumps and that finish with Brett being on his belly. And all of a sudden, he just starts moving legs around. And you're like, what the fuck is he doing? And he just gets up and oh shit, he's got him in the hold. He's got him in the sharp shoulder. That's it. Look, see, that's what happened. He's a winner. He's a winner. Brett and Razor Ramon. And you talked about John being solid. Did you see Scott Hall in 1993? That motherfucker was a brick house. That motherfucker was in shape, my boy. Brett, no slouch, but Scott Hall, 6'5", statuesque, brown skin, son. No homo. The boy was looking great. He's looking solid, okay? And you know what? All of the praise that went to Scott Hall during that time, it's still to this day kind of upsetting he was never a world champion. To this day, that there's a lot of people that are just like, oh, who's the greatest wrestler that never win a world title? You always hear names like Mr. Perfect, which I don't think is fair because I think he was AWA champion at one point. There's a couple of names. Scott Hall never being WWF champion. That's tough. In that age where they were experimenting with people.
It's a strong era, though, man.
I mean, the new generation era. Brett was strong for sure. You can make an argument he might have been a better choice than Diesel. Diesel having the Big Daddy Cool Diesel having that run in 95. I mean, it was good, but I mean, Scott was special, man. Scott was so good. He was so goddamn good. Brad, and I know people in the comments are going to kill that. What? Big Daddy Cool at the time? He was over, man. He was the man. I know, but Scott Hall, Razor Ramon. Oh my God. With the stupid shit like the beginning of that match, Bret Hart puts the glasses on the fucking kid in the front row. He gets in the ring and does the whole deal. They get ready to start the match. Razor Ramon takes out the toothpick and hits the kid in the fucking face. What the fuck, toothpick? Ah, that's some MJF shit.
Disrespectful, dude.
Disrespect. What did you see here? What did you like, dislike?
So it's funny that you said
on my list. Like,
huh?
You don't have to like the match. You don't have to like the match specifically because I had it on the list. If there's ever a match that we come up with that you really didn't like, you could just say
you think I'm gonna just fucking like something because you have it on the list? I look for shit to kill. You kidding me? I don't want to come on here and agree. You kidding me? That's not what's getting the views. No, but seriously, like this one, when you started pointing out that it was like kind of like your sleeper, but you know, you put it out at 14, it's not 20. And I think that's a decent spot for it because I do agree with you compared to the other matches on this list, even the one kind of before it. I don't want to use I want to say the intensity wasn't the same as the other ones, but I hesitate to use that word because there was intensity here, but I think this was more like a class on working. Like these dudes worked. Like, I noticed your knee's messed up. Now I'm working your knee. I slid him into the post. I slid Brett into the post. He hit his ribs. He started working his ribs. Like the whole like they're just chipping. Like at one point, it really felt like they both had HP bars over their head. Like I could see the damage dwindling away on both of them to where like they were doing crazy shit throughout the match. It was a very, very, very textbook kind of like class, a class on like how to work someone down to get your finisher off. And that seems to be like a continuous theme. I think my buddy mentioned this the other day that he saw something where people were like, finishers aren't finishers anymore. I guess he heard it on a podcast or something. Right. So finishers aren't finishers anymore. Like we just kick out of finishers all the time. There's no such thing as a finisher. And just kind of watching these, and I'm like, man, I'll tell you what, I kind of don't like watching this shit because there are many reasons why this shit is making me hate this shit today. Like, I was sitting there watching this, and I'm like, I get why loyalists bitch because the product is just different. I'm not saying one is better than the other. I'm not going to say that. Right. But it's very obvious, and one of my complaints that I'm on here bitching about all the time is how everything is fucking telegraphed. No one's in the spot. No one dazes their way into position. They just get there and then they're like, and they're like this, and they're waiting for it, or whatever the case may be. And you see a lot of that in this match and a lot of other matches where they're in their spot. They're hit. They're trying to fight back up, and they're in the spot, and then the attack happens, and it's like it's fluid. It's moving. I'm watching a fight. I'm not watching someone stand there and taunt and wait for 10 seconds for you to turn around so I can you know what I mean? Like it just stood out like a sore thumb to me. So this one I agree. It wasn't nearly as intense as the rest of the stuff, but it was just when you're watching this, you're learning something. Especially if you want to get into the business, watch this. Try to mimic this in your matches because that it just buy into it. They both got their ass kicked in this match.
They absolutely both got, and Brett, of course, coming away. That was his first pay-per-view title defense, which is crazy after winning the championship. We just did 2 straight wrestling matches, but this next one is not one of those. It is the infamous casket match of 1998, Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker, where Shawn Michaels literally broke his back trying to make this match as memorable as he possibly could. This is the era of Shawn Michaels that was headed toward the brick wall. This was the Shawn Michaels that was not the good person. Far too many recreational habits, if you know what I mean, and was not in a good place. And there are many people that suggest that the broken back may have saved Shawn Michaels' life, just based on the trajectory that he was on personally at that time. Having said that, that era of Shawn Michaels might be my favorite of all time. Because, now hold on for everybody out there. He goes, wait. He had a great run on the comeback, and he did. That 05-06 Michaels is pretty good. Or that 04-05-06 kind of era right there of Shawn is pretty fucking good. But this was the era of Shawn Michaels who he just didn't give a shit. He was outperforming people and was laughing through it. He was having matches with people where he was very clearly miles ahead of everyone he was in the fucking ring with, and he knew it, and he performed like it, and it was simple shit. He's not doing a shooting star press or anything like that, but the shit that he's doing is athletic. It's outrageous for that time period, and he's just letting his fucking shit fly. He's talking shit to that heel version of Shawn is one of my favorite versions of Shawn. He's just talking wild shit. He's humping flags. He's picking his nose with shit. He's coming up there with big ass sausages on television, strip poker. He's just going fucking bananas. And then there's The Undertaker. And it didn't dawn on me until I watched this back that this was the end of their program at the time, and they had 3 matches. The singles match at Ground Zero, where it was just a one-on-one match, regular match, and they had ended like in a double count on or double DQ or something. Then the Hell in a Cell match, then this. The singles match, it's a rub. It's 2 wrestlers just going at it, but the Hell in a Cell and a casket match very heavily favors The Undertaker. Shawn would go on to win both matches, but in the last match would break his back and ended up losing the title to Stone Cold at WrestleMania and then going into that 4-year hiatus. I don't think there's a wrestler alive that would have killed for that kind of push, and then it just went away. 2 straight back-to-back wins, the first ever Hell in a Cell. 45 minutes, bleeding to death, but still win. And then the casket match. 2 matches that Undertaker made famous. He beat him back-to-back and then disappeared. I'm like, oh, man. What version of Shawn Michaels would we have gotten? Like when we said earlier about the Gunther gets to brag, right? Because he beat Goldberg and Cena in the same year. Okay. And now he's out here getting all this heat. What version of Shawn would it have been? What if he would have had those 2 wins and then just lived his life as a mercenary and just an asshole, a curmudgeon every fucking Monday on Raw? It would have been unfucking sufferable. It would have been great television. At some point, he's pulling his meat out. I'm going to call that. He's going to go too far. He's going to push some sort of button. But yeah, this casket match is wild. There's so many things happening during the course of this. And what did you think of, but what did you specifically think of that ending?
The whole match within itself, I want to point out that the storytelling here, the way they danced around that casket was fucking amazing. Absolutely fucking amazing. And while I was watching it back, and I noticed you pointed it out because you hate gimmick matches. Well, I'm sure this is the earlier stage where some of these gimmicks are fairly new, like they're not abused too much just yet. So the feeling there is a little bit better.
Really quickly, the casket match is not new, but this might have been maybe the 5th or 6th one that off the top of my head, I could do the research, but they spaced them out so well that they were rare, that you rarely ever saw them. Mm-hmm. And to Sean's credit, what you just said about the way they danced around the casket, a lot of the other opponents that The Undertaker faced, for whatever reason, Yokozuna, Mabel, you can go on the line, Goldust, they all had the same gimmick when it came to this match. They were afraid of the casket.
Mm-hmm.
There was some sort of fear toward the casket. It's almost like sacrilege. They're playing with death. That was the whole idea.
Sure. Yep.
Sean didn't look like he was afraid of the casket. It looked like he was afraid of Taker putting him in the casket. I don't want to lose this goddamn match.
Yeah.
And it's just like they just had Sean was just in fucking survival mode the entire goddamn match. But continue your point.
No, and he played to that. He really looked like he was on the edge the entire time. And he was there, like I said, they danced around that casket. They made a. I was watching it at one point, and I'm like, I'm not even sure this is even Sean. Obviously, this is probably not even Sean's best match, but like while I was watching it, I'm like, I get why Sean would be pissed that he's not the guy, because like if you're doing this night in, night out, how are you not the guy? I mean, obviously, as you explained, it seemed like he was going in that trajectory where it was about to be his turn, and then something happened. But he was, I don't know what time frame I'm watching this match in, but he's red fucking hot, man. That dude is like, he was moving around that ring. The storytelling was fantastic. I love the part when they were like both in the casket and it was shut. And they're like moving around, and then they're like fucking pop out, and he starts crawling. And Taker grabs him to pull him in, and he's like fucking Then they go and start beating under. And it's like clawing at the fuck like that. I'm watching. I'm like, dude, I hate being that guy, but it's like, man, I don't like. Where do I get this feeling today? You know what I mean? And that was around the time when I was like, man, I get why people who grew up like you were the target audience for this shit. Like, it's hard to look at today in the same, like, it's hard to not fantasize about that shit because it was new and it was like, I don't know. Yeah. The storytelling there was absolutely fantastic. And the way they ended it, starting that new program with Kane and Taker and the whole fire and everything like that, the turn, Paul Bearer, the both of them turning on Taker, setting the shit on fire and all like that.
That shit had people legitimately shook.
I feel like I remember seeing that, like when it was happening. Yeah, like I remember. I had this memory when he was pulling them up and he was pouring the gasoline. Like I remember seeing this while you were watching. I'm like, damn. In this moment, I'm thinking, obviously, there's a thing there. Taker goes through the bottom. He's in the back watching this. But I also remember in the moment, I like being a kid, like, oh, he just set that guy on fucking fire. And he put holes in the shit first and then filled it up with gasoline. And said, I'm like, yo, that's crazy. Like, I remember like being young and like kind of I was getting memories of that shit.
Considering the first time you saw Kane and he did that Hell in a Cell, ripped the door off the Hell in a Cell, and it scared the shit out of you. And then this scared the shit out of you. The fact that he would later become your favorite wrestler is amazing.
Oh, he's absolutely He's the man. Greatest big guy in the business, hands down.
It's hard to argue.
Can't convince me otherwise.
Hard to argue. Number 12 on the list, Chris Jericho versus Chris Benoit. Yes, I will say his name in a ladder match, 2001. And folks, this match. I hadn't seen this match in years. Been a long time. In preparation for this episode, I watched all these matches back. And I think this is the match that makes me upset when I watch the ladder matches now. I think this is why I get pissed off when I say I don't like multi-man ladder matches. And I think subconsciously, it was matches like this that started that trend, because despite it being a ladder match, to go back to your Bret Hart, Razor Ramon argument, this felt like a fight. This felt like a fight. This felt more back and forth. Yes, there's some outlandishness here, right? Like who the fuck, like who the fuck's gonna take a diving headbutt from the top of the ladder to an empty pool, as they say, just straight down to the goddamn. Just the CTE percentage is crazy on that thing, and then the one that kept replaying, I think because it tickled King so much, the dive through the ropes. When Benoit dives through the ropes and Jericho just bonks him with that goddamn chair. And again, just a front bump right to the fucking floor. Or the pictures, all the pictures from the walls of Jericho on the top of the ladder when they held that position.
Yeah.
On the goddamn
that was
thing.
Fire. That was
so
crazy.
Fucking good. These two had such amazing chemistry together. They could do a wrestling match, a regular wrestling match, all goddamn day long. But the fact that they were able to do it with the ladder, to me, this stands out. It's one of the best ladder matches of all time. You can't talk me off that hill. If I did a top 5, just one-on-one ladder matches, this would be on that list. It's also one of the things, because I'm a historian and I'm always thinking of the old shit, that I laughed because many moons later, I'll say about 7 years later, in 2008, when Shawn Michaels is feuding with Chris Jericho, Shawn Michaels challenged Jericho to a ladder match. And he was talking about the ladder match like, I want to challenge you to a match that some say that I innovated, that I made famous, and this, so, and the fourth. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, you had 2. The guy you're challenging has had like 5 at this point. And he's super good at it. I don't think this is a good idea. And Jericho did win that ladder match. But it's sneaky. Jericho is sneaky like that. If you look through Jericho's career, he's been in every fucking kind of match you can think of. And he's won his fair share of them. And Jericho always finds himself like there. He's the Jeff Teague of WWE. He just always seems to just be right there when everything's going down. So this is by far one of my favorite ladder matches of all time. You sent me a screenshot of like the exact impact. And it's so funny, when you sent it, we were driving from work. Steph was on my phone because we were listening to music in the car on YouTube. And the blip came up of text message, and it was a picture. And my wife goes, "What the hell is this?" And she clicks it, and it's the fucking bump that you said. It's just, why the fuck is he sending you a picture of Chris Benoit just front bumping for no goddamn reason? I said, because it was goddamn awesome. That's why. Get your fucking weight up.
You read the rest, right? I was a picture of someone like me in 2026. That was literally my reaction. I'm watching it and I saw it. I'm like, because I see him up there and he's getting ready to jump, and I'm like, oh, this is a fire spot. And then Jericho just goes, I was like, I literally just did that. I said, oh no. When I react like that, I usually 9 times out of 10, if I send you a picture of something, I reacted like that when I saw it.
The sell, that's usually when he hits the mat and then curls up and just
that's not a sell. That's not a sell. That's real life. The wind gone from his lungs. No, that. So the thing that stood out to me really in this one is to your point about like ladder matches. My memory of the last ladder match was the 16 ladder match that happened. And if I remember correctly, there was like a 3-minute stretch where nothing was happening.
Yeah.
And it's because they were setting up all the spots on the outside. Literally, I don't know if they intentionally did this, but everyone started to set up a spot at the same time. They were even helping each other do the spot. So nobody was fighting. 3 minutes went by, and now assholes are like flipping all over the place.
Yeah.
This was a one-on-one match, and it had more action than that match had in the entire match. It was not. It felt like there were 6 people in the ring. These guys were all over the fucking place. The spots they were pulling off, the jumps on top of the ladder, the walls of Jericho on the ladder, the crowd itself. I don't know if the audio today is clearly different from the audio then, but that building was on their fucking feet. That they were blowing that building the fuck up, man. I'd like the crowd cheering stood out very distinctively and while I was watching it. So yeah, when I was watching this, I'm like, yeah, I can tell why he doesn't like the new shit or the newer ones because we beat it to death. But like, even with all those people in that match, you're not getting this amount of intensity and creativity, even when you have all those people in the ring. This is very tough to live up to. This match was insane.
There's an old interview I saw back in the day where some of the boys from that era, they always said, you know, you had a good match when you popped JR on commentary. When the match is over and JR is losing his fucking mind, you know you had a great fucking match. And JR was going off when this match was over. What a goddamn great ass match. Even King, who stops being a heel for a moment, just goes, what a match. Like, it just, Jesus Christ. Sometimes I feel like King used to kind of feel a little type of way because he was a great wrestler in his own right. He's arguably one of the all-time greats, Jerry the King Lawler. But then he would be ringside and call some of these matches like that, just go, thank God it's not me. Thank God I'm not the one in there doing this shit because Jesus Christ. Last match for this section here, number 11, CM Punk and The Rock 2013, just shy of the top 10, but I gotta, as much as I love the match, and I do love the match, it's a good match. It's a good, solid, straight-up match between two people from two completely different generations. That if this match had happened 10 years prior, more in The Rock's era, this match would have went a different way. There's no way at Punk frame that they would have allowed The Rock to be competitive with this guy in 2002 and 2003. There's just no way. They had the match in 2013, more Punk's era. They found a beautiful way to make the two styles work. I will forever be angry at the ending of this match for both professional and personal bias reasons. Because Punk, this was the end of the 434 days as champion, one of the hottest runs in modern history. This was a world title reign that still talked about to this day. Because of that title reign, all you hear now on WWE television is how many days someone has been champion. That's all you hear about now. And 434 was impressive. But now we've got Roman at 3,000 or 2,000 or whatever, how many fucking days it was when he was champion 4 years in a row. And they even do it now where, like, Maxine Dupree lost the championship and she held the title for 27 days or some bullshit number, which it should have always been 0. But the fact, whatever, and so it's one of the, I still say to this day, biggest fumble of all time, because we still had Taker's streak and they were headed toward Punk Taker. I've said this on the show before, but I'll say it again because it fits here. If Punk had retained here and retained at the Chamber pay-per-view, and Punk Taker would have happened at WrestleMania while Punk was still champion, that match would have very clearly had been the main event, and it would have been the streak against the streak. It would have been a champion. At that point, Punk would have been champion over 500 days in a row. And you would have to look into the 80s and 70s for a champion that would have reigned longer. So the title of greatest champion of the modern era would have fit. So it would have been the greatest champion in the modern era against the greatest WrestleMania streak of all time. One mega main event. And yes, I had a ticket to that event. Would have loved to have been there for that piece of history.
Look at you booking your own event.
But I'm just saying that if that one loss doesn't happen, that's the main event of WrestleMania. It's not even a fucking question. You could have still done Roxana, and it still would have made bank. But that would have been the mega match for WrestleMania 29. That would have been insane. And they ended up still having Punk and Taker, and they still ended up being the best match of the night. They just weren't last, and it wasn't for the title. And the streak continued on. The streak would go on to be broken the very next year, but that's the way that the cookie crumbles, so to speak. But as far as this match goes, this is also one of my favorite matches because I sent you a link that also had the promo package in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm unstoppable, I'm the champion, the champion. For 337 days for 400 in your face, jerks. CM Punk has reigned as champion. Oh, that promo package is insane. You know it, they know it. Time's up. And I'm like, oh shit, the buildup is crazy. I also did not like the disrespect of the champion coming out first. I get that he's the Rock. And I get that his mom is in the front row. But goddamn, the disrespect. Punk, Rock, your take, Dave, on this incredible clash of titans.
This is really good Punk. Like, I didn't get to watch him in that time.
This is prime.
This was good Punk. Like, this is again, I don't know how old he was here, but this is a younger body. And he was moving.
I was like 11 years ago. Yeah, that's late 20s, early 30s.
It was moving like it. The Rock looked even better. Like, obviously he's much older.
That was good Rock too, not for nothing. Yeah,
he looked great.
Yeah.
He looked really great. They were moving around the ring. They were putting on the show. The pacing was really good. Again, their position was really good. They weren't telegraphing too much. They were telling an amazing story. And then I was, and the building was exploding. They were going fucking nuts. And the match just had so much momentum. And I'm watching it. And then we're actually gonna, if I'm remembering this ending correctly, this is the one with the shield, right?
Yes.
Right. Okay. So if I remember this correctly, we're going to revisit this on our main event because I feel like kind of the same thing happened. The same exact thing happened, which was ironic.
Very similar. Yes.
But
go ahead.
Their momentum was, I was locked in. I stopped working, by the way. I watched this shit at work. I listened to it. I look at it, I peek if something, like if they're resting, then I'm like doing my thing. And if they're doing something, I'm watching, right? I'm locked in completely. This is lunchtime for me. I sat down for my lunch and because this shit started getting crazy. So I paused it. I warmed up my shit, and I sat down for this one and I watched it. And I was all in. And I'm like, yo, this match is going so hard. And then the lights cut out. And then next thing you know, the Rock's on the outside. Punk gets up. He's like, he doesn't know what the fuck is going on. The lights was just off. What's happening? Sees Rock on the table, rolls over there. I love when he's picking him up, and it's like, hey, what's the shield? He's like, huh?
I have nothing to do with the shield.
He's like, huh? The shield. He's like, who? The shield? I got nothing. I don't have anything to do with them. So he like grabs him, rolls him into the ring, and pins him. And my point is, we were up here the entire time, and it ended here. But the way it did it, it made sense. It's almost like the way they killed the momentum drove more story behind it, but it didn't kill the match. It just killed the momentum. So when you scan the crowd, everyone's like, it's just like, whoa. It's like, I don't really know how to explain this. I just know the energy was so high and then it just fell flat. Right. And it's not a boo thing. You don't boo this. This is just like, what the fuck just happened? Like, we were watching a historical match in the making and it just got completely side railed. So I thought the way they told that story was amazing. I love the way Punk played it off. And I love the way he capitalized it right away, rolled his ass in the ring, ended the match, done, out of there. We're done. That was fucking awesome. The storytelling, not only was the match insane, but that storytelling at the end, beautiful way to buzzkill something. It's like a good way to do it. That was awesome.
Right at the people's elbow, right when because the crowd seemed really into the idea of The Rock winning the title.
Oh my god!
It was
so peak too.
Which is so crazy.
It drops him, pops
which is so
up, and
crazy
the
to hear.
crowd fucking goes nuts, dude. And then the lights go out. It's so perfect, man. Whoever wrote that shit.
Because Punk's also remember in the promo package they had said that Vince said that if the Shield interferes in your match, we're stripping you of the title. So when Vince comes out and does the whole, the Shield interfered in the match, and Punk goes, I didn't see the Shield. You didn't see the Shield. Nobody here saw the Shield. It's like, what are you talking about? He's like, it leaves me no choice. No, don't do it. Don't do it. It's like he's not mic'd, but that's the fucking point. There's effort in the detail there because you don't have to be mic'd to be pissed off about something. He's pissed. I won the match. The match is over. This is over. He's dealing in the ring. This is over. It's done. And then Heyman, once again, just being a perfect second, even after they restart. Okay, we're going to restart the match. Punk is still arguing with the referee. Heyman jumps on the apron. Forget that. Get on him. We can't overturn this. This is happening. So get on him. Just get on him. Finish him off then. Like, it's the sense of urgency around everything. Like you said, it was a fevered pitch because at the time that they chose to cut the lights off, Rock was up. Rock had momentum. It had been a back and forth match up until that point. The Rock came in with injured ribs because of the last match that he had with John Cena. He had injured his ribs. So Punk focused on the ribs. But then they gave Rock an out because all of a sudden Punk comes off the top rope, lands gingerly, injures the left knee. Rock goes on off to the left knee. So now both of them have an even playing field situation. Rock's clearly the bigger, stronger guy. They needed something to give Punk an edge so that he could look strong as the heel. But now the babyface needs to come back. So now the knee injury is something he plays with. And now they're going back and forth. Now they both have a built-in reason to take over on the other. When Rock needs to get up, attack the knee. When Punk needs to get up, attack the ribs, so on and so forth. In that exact moment, when they cut off the lights, Rock's got the momentum. The crowd is on his feet. Cutting those lights off, like you said, takes the fucking helium right out of the goddamn balloon.
Completely empty.
They did it for several minutes because they have to take Rock out of the ring. They have to set him up for the triple power bomb. They have to put him through the table. Then the guys have to get the fuck out of there and then turn the lights on. So you went from a whole building full of people that were at the top of their fucking emotional state to just getting blue balls at this point because they're waiting for the goddamn thing. When the lights turn on, they're booing their fucking asses off. And then, like you said, Punk drags Rock into the ring. He pings him 1, 2, 3, and they perfect camera shot of the audience members just going, "What the fuck just happened?"
Yeah, dude.
And then Vince comes out. That gets a pop because maybe there's hope. What's going to happen here? And I don't know if anybody catches it, but there's some slight blues when he's about to strip Punk because that does stripping Punk is a punishment, but it doesn't give the crowd what they want. Then The Rock gets on the microphone, says, no, restart this match. Then they restart the match, and they're right back on their fucking feet. Oh, we're back in this. Hold on. There's a shot. There's a chance. And then rock bottom, boom. Hit this motherfucker. Elbow, 1, 2, 3, it's over. If you smell, and then that's it. And then
I must have cut it off too soon. I didn't get that last part. Fuck.
Oh yeah. Oh, you didn't see the actual finish when he wins the title?
No, I thought it was done. I must have bugged out. I thought it was over. Damn. Now I know how you feel when Seth came out.
Oh, shut the fuck up, everybody. God damn it. God damn it. Yes, finish that last part. There's more to it. But yeah, the crowd eventually gets what they want in the end. And everyone goes home happy. The whole building explodes. It's a whole moment.
So we just edged them a little bit. That's all.
Yeah, that's it.
Which made the nut at the end even better.
We let you finish to completion. We just needed to get some other stuff in first before that happened. And the whole point of that was to put Punk with the Shield at some point and have them be his little flunkies, and it ended up never even happening. So what a waste of an opportunity across the goddamn board. But anyway, we're heading now into our 15 through 11. We'll be back next week with 10 through 6 as we get closer to the Royal Rumble. And now